You're live. There we go. What is going on, boys? What's going on? Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, November 23rd, 2024. The time is 8:39 p.m. And if this is your first time watching my channel, you might be wondering who I am. My name is Ephraim. I am currently 24 years old. And just about 2 years ago, when I was 22 years old, I was having no luck with girls. I was swiping on all the apps I was mass DMing girls on Instagram, trying to get laid that way. And I could not for the life of me get it done. Yeah. And you fast forward 2 years. Well, you fast forward a few months from that point where I was. Keep in mind, I looked just like this when I was having trouble finding a girlfriend. I looked just like this. And you fast forward a few months, I met this wizard named Christian. Yeah, this freedom architect named Christian. And he started his life out as a magician and transitioned into walking over to girls in public. I paid the guy to teach me how to do that. And what do you know it? My dating life turned around a huge 180. And now I'm on the other side of things where maybe right now I don't have the girls around, but I have a skill set that can get them around pretty effectively. So if you listen to my last lives, you'll kind of understand what I mean. But anyways, so today's live stream, I titled it, "You Must Give Before You Can Receive," or "You Must Give Before You Receive." And I'll just give you the story of how this came to be, how this topic came to be. So today, first of all, it was a busy ass day. Saturdays are by far our busiest days for tours. Everybody's off work, so everybody comes in to view apartments, which is great for me and great for my pockets. Yeah. And so literally, as soon as I walk into work, my tour is sitting right there. Actually, it was my coworker's tour, but she was running late, so I took it. And that person did not lease, but then the next tour leased. And long story short, I made 2 sales today, which felt pretty good. But it was crazy busy, and I remember typically I don't eat a single meal or anything until my lunch break, which is typically 1 p.m. And that's usually the only meal I'll eat. Sometimes I'll have a small dinner, but today I decided I was just craving a breakfast burrito. So this will tie into the topic. So I decided, I looked up breakfast burritos near me. There was one around the corner. So I went and I ordered one, and I went to pick it up at this little taqueria. All right. So I walk into the taqueria, and there's this kid working the counter, and he looked so stressed. There weren't too many people in the taqueria, but he was the only staff member that was not in the kitchen. Yeah, he was out there, he was bussing the tables, then he was bringing the food out, then he was working the cash register. So he just looked stressed as soon as I walked in. Yeah, and I'm standing by the register waiting for him to finish bussing that table to come over. And I tell him, "Hey, excuse me." And the first thing is I have the brightest smile on when I tell him, "Oh, I ordered the steak breakfast burrito, blah, blah, blah." And I got the biggest smile on my face. And immediately, once he looks up from the cash register and he sees it, I have this beaming smile on my face. It's like the tension, all of the stress that he was feeling, I wouldn't say it subsided, but he forgot about it for a bit. Yeah. I imagine it was pretty refreshing to have somebody not be super demanding and super impatient. And so, yeah, I tell him I ordered the steak burrito, and then I go, "Yeah, man, I'm so excited." I get excited. I'm just being honest, right? I'm What you learn through cold approach is how to really be yourself. So I just told him how I was feeling. I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm so excited to try this. Like, I've been craving a breakfast burrito all day. I've never had any food from this place. This is my first time." He's telling me, "Oh man, you're gonna love it. Trust me, it's so good." I'm like, "Dude, do you get free meals here? You work here?" He's saying, "Yeah, sometimes they'll give me one free meal a day at lunch, and then I got to pay otherwise." And I'm like, "Oh, sick. One free meal. That's all you need." So more or less, what I'm trying to get at is by the time I was walking out of that taqueria, it was like I had made a friend, but more importantly, it was like I had really turned around somebody's day. Yeah, something as simple as walking in, beaming a smile, and then just giving friendly energy. Right? I wanted nothing from this kid working the taqueria. Yeah, in fact, the only thing I wanted was to spread joy. And the joy for me was coming from the fact that I had this burrito in my hand that I was so ready to eat, right? But it's like I was able to spread that, offload that. And the reason, and we're going to go far deeper in this live stream, but the reason why I'm starting with this surface level example is because, well, I'll read the text I sent to myself. I said, "We must give value before receiving value. Think today, taqueria. I smiled first, then he smiled back. Yeah. So keep in mind that sentence. I smiled first. Then he smiled back. Then I said, it sucks because just because you give value doesn't mean you will receive it back. Yeah. In fact, most times you give it, you probably won't receive. All right. So what do I mean here is if you're anybody like me, yeah, and you've seen throughout my channel kind of the energy and the trend throughout my channel. I won't say that I'm always Mr. Chipper, yeah, Mr. Happy Go Lucky, but oftentimes, yeah, I'm so happy with my life and who I'm becoming and just what I have to look forward to and what I'm involved in right now in this channel and all. I'm just so happy overall. Yeah, I'm sure. Of course, I have my days, but that I more or less live my life in this kind of a way. Now, I'm not always walking into the taqueria with the biggest smile, this and that, but a lot of the time, whether it be the grocery clerk at Safeway or the security guard in front of the Target or the barista at Starbucks, more or less I'm able to weave in a little bit of joy into a lot of people's day. Yeah. And what I meant with the sentence, just because you give doesn't mean you will receive, is that a lot of times the joy kind of goes unreciprocated or unanswered, meaning sometimes I walk by somebody, I make eye contact, I say good morning, and they don't respond. Yeah. Sometimes I walk by somebody, I give them a friendly head nod, and they just divert their eyes and keep walking. Yeah. A lot of times. Sometimes I'll try to be friendly with the cashier, and maybe she's just having a long day and she doesn't want to be friendly. So what I mean is that, or I guess what I'm getting at is you have to give before you receive, but the shitty part is that a lot of times you will give and not receive. Yeah, that's part of the game. Part of the game, and of course you can see I'm going to tie this in the cold approach. Part of the game is you give because that's the only way you will receive, but giving is not a guarantee that you will receive. Does that make sense? This kind of answers the question when guys, this answers why I can't answer the question. This explains why I can't answer the question. So, how many girls should I expect? Yeah. So, if I walk up to 5 girls, how many should I expect will give me their phone number? How many can I? Do you see why this question is so impossible and so stupid? Yeah. I can't predict who's going to be in a giving mood, right? I can't predict who's going to reciprocate your advances. How the fuck could I predict that? Literally, there's every person is so individual, yeah, and they're having such an individual day and an individual experience. Yesterday's live stream, I started off with the guy that was just screaming his head off outside my window, yeah, and I'm happy on a live stream, and it seemed like his life was breaking down. Yeah, it seemed like his life was being ruined on that phone call, whatever he was talking about. It sounded like he just got laid off and his coworker had slighted him. I was like literally at the window trying to eavesdrop, right? So that's what I mean. It's like, what does that question even mean? What should I expect? How many girls will it take for me to get laid? Oh, how many approaches will it take for me to get laid? It's like I can't answer that. What I can tell you is what I know is that if you give for long enough, eventually you will receive. I don't know how long it's going to take. Shit, I mean, if you look like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, it might take you 5 minutes, yeah. Unless you just have piss poor self image, right? We got guys that look just like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, that probably created that physique out of insecurity, yeah, out of the fact that they were socially incapable, and so they thought maybe if I get jacked, the girl will like me. I'm tangenting a bit, but let's get back to the topic. So, um, oh, okay. So then the next paragraph, I said how to give ? Give effort, give a good job. Yeah, give effort, give a good job. So I'm going to start going into my experience in sales and like recent experience, and then a few other examples of what this topic means. But the next thing I sent myself was, you have to start the enthusiasm. Everybody is just as blind and unaware and uncomfortable as you, but somebody needs to initiate. Somebody needs to, right? That's how anything ever gets done. Somebody has to start it, right? So go with me here, right? Go with me on this journey real quick. All right. So imagine yourself, yeah. Imagine yourself seeing the girl, or let's just say you're out at a social event where you don't know anybody and like nobody really knows everybody. Maybe there's a couple pairs of people there, but like, it's just you don't know too many people, all right? And imagine how you're feeling in that moment where you're looking around, maybe you're making some assumptions. Oh, those people seem like they're already friends. Those people don't look too friendly. I probably shouldn't say anything to them. Maybe you showed up with your roommate, so you're just clinging to your roommate and you guys are pretending to have conversation when you really want to be socializing with everybody. And you're standing there looking around going, God, I want to say something, but this is scary. What if people don't want to talk to me? What if they think I'm weird for initiating conversation? I'm sure we've all been in this position, right? Now, hold on to that thought for me, all right? Just grab it for a minute and just keep it right here. Now, I want you to recognize that every single person at that gathering, at that party, at that whatever, at the function, feels exactly how you're feeling. Exactly how you're feeling. Maybe it's different degrees, right? Some people are more socially capable, so they don't feel that anxiety as much as you do. Some people probably feel it worse than you do because all they do is read books and they don't go outside ever. But every single person, right? I mean, I'm describing an environment in which not everybody knows each other and it's kind of just pairs of people. Everybody feels that way. Everybody is looking around going, I want to talk to that cool guy with the curly hair and the nose ring, but he looks kind of intimidating. Like, I don't think I'm just going to walk over to him and his roommate and start up conversation. What if they just tell me to fuck off, right? They look like they're the kind of people to tell me to do that. You see what I'm saying? It's like we're all doing the mental gymnastics. So what I'm getting at is somebody needs to start, somebody needs to initiate. And it's funny because all of the bystanders watch the person. It doesn't have to be the guy, right? But watch the person. All of the bystanders look at the person initiating, and immediately they think either this guy must know everybody already, or this guy must have so much clout, or this guy must not feel what I'm feeling because he's walking over to people and he's trying to get everybody together. He's trying to gather everybody at this little picnic we're having to play these games, or he's trying, or maybe we're at a kickback or a party. He's trying to get the rage cage going and the beer pong going. And you see what I'm saying? Like somebody is trying to create the community and foster the fun. Somebody has to start that though. Do you get it? Somebody needs to begin it. But let's look back to what we were talking about just a few minutes ago. That same feeling of discomfort and inadequacy, yeah, that you might feel in these social environments, and we'll tie this into cold approach, yeah. But these same feelings that you feel, recognize that if your brain feels this way, then what the fuck makes you think everybody else's brain doesn't too? Yeah. Why would you assume that just you are feeling these feelings and everybody else is just so confident and so socially capable and this and that, right? It's not the case. You're all feeling that way. It's just one person in the group, one person at the party, at the picnic, one person just picks up their nuts and goes over, right? Just starts the fun, just stands up and goes, all right, you guys want to play football? All right, you guys want to toss the frisbee? Let's do some. Hey, what's going on? Let's do, I remember I was at a camping on a camping trip with my cousin who was getting married. But my cousin was the only person I knew. I didn't know anybody else. And there was like 16 to 20 people, right? And I remember this one guy, he was like 40, he was in his 40s, right? My cousin was part of this big church of a bunch of different people and backgrounds, and it was great. So he invited a lot of them out to this camping trip. And it was kind of, I was being social, I was being myself, but it was still kind of like everybody was in their cliques of people that they knew. And I was just staying around my cousin, kind of staying around some of the guys I had met and drove up there with. And then this 40-year-old guy, right? This guy who just seems so confident in himself, seems like he had accepted himself 2 decades ago. He suggests that we all sit around the campfire and do icebreakers, yeah, and just go, why don't we all just do icebreakers so we can get to know each other, feel comfortable? And I'm standing there and I'm going, wow, I was the first one to jump on the idea and go, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll start. And so I started off the icebreakers, right? Someone's got to start, right? But point being, I remember looking at that and thinking, what a great idea. What a bold idea. Because I imagine he felt just like everybody else felt, right? He's probably feeling like, wow, all these young kids and I'm the oldest one in the group and this and that. But maybe he saw that as the opportunity to take the lead, right? Well, let me show these kids how to be social. But I was looking at that and I was going, God, I was so scared to do that because I thought everybody would think I'm lame for saying icebreakers. I thought everybody would clown me for going, what, do you think this is a fucking HR meeting? Do you think we're all in a company doing job interviews and shit? What do you mean icebreakers? I thought that I'd get clowned for saying something like that, but he just said it so confidently and certainly. And then I looked around and everybody was agreeing, and I was like, no shit, right? I was assuming everybody wanted to be antisocial and didn't want to mingle with me and didn't want to talk to me until I looked around and I realized, I watched everybody agreeing with his suggestion, and I go, dude, we all wanted somebody to initiate. We were all hoping to get to know each and every person and hear something from each person. And go figure, by the end of the night, it was pitch black, right? We're camping around this campfire and everybody has an instrument in their hand. My cousin is a musician. So everybody has an instrument. They all brought fucking hella instruments. I got the bongos because I don't know how to play instruments. That's the only thing I can manage. At one point, they gave me the mic to freestyle and I just bombed it, but I did. Yeah, at least I went for it, right? But point is, that catalyst, right? That 40-year-old guy just saying something, just raising his fucking hand and just going, all right, like, let's start. Let's commence. Let's commence the hangout. Why are we all being awkward and cliquey right now? Let's get to it. We came out here for community. It took that for us to be comfortable. Everybody gives a little story about how they know the groom, right? The groom to be, and then, where are we from, this and that. And yeah, I just remember after that point, after we all ran around the icebreakers and I heard everybody's voice for the first time, and I made eye contact with each and every person, at some point in the icebreaker, it was just the training wheels came off. Now everybody was walking over to everybody. Now, I'm standing over with the guys that I didn't even say a word to prior to the icebreakers, and now we're just having a laugh. Yeah. Now we got instruments all in a circle. Just, I'm comfortable enough to start freestyling now on the mic. Yeah, I was the first one to do it because nobody else wanted to. But it's like, think about it. If they had handed me that mic prior to doing these icebreakers, I probably would have just been like, no, I'm good. But it's because I would have just been thinking everybody else in the group thinks they're so cool and they're going to judge me, blah, blah, blah. But once everybody did the icebreakers and I heard how nervous each person was to speak to a group of 20 people, and I realized how human everybody was, I was like, dude, we're all the same, man. We all want the same shit. We all want to have a fun time on a camping trip. Nobody wants to be cliquey in these cliquey groups and being sectioned off. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants to be social and have a good time. And don't take this too literally. Some people might go to the bar to where I've done this, go to the bar wearing AirPods and just playing pool. Yeah. Not wanting to be social, but you know what I mean? You're going out on a camping trip for your bachelor party, your cousin's bachelor party. You want to have a great time. You don't want to just be stuck to the two people that you drove up to the camping site with. Right. So, oh yeah. So that was just a brief deep dive into that paragraph. Guess it wasn't too brief, but yeah. So that paragraph that started that whole story was, you have to start the enthusiasm. Everybody is just as blind, just as unaware, and just as uncomfortable as you are. But somebody needs to initiate. Now, keep in mind, if nobody had initiated, then none of us would have had that fun night where we could all just let loose and just have a great time. Yeah. We wouldn't have had that, or maybe it would have taken like 7 pints of beer for us to get to that level, right? But no, somebody stood up. It wasn't me. It wasn't even me, but somebody stood up and they started it. They initiated it. Okay. So let's jump back to the last paragraph. All right. We must give value before receiving value. All right. So I started that paragraph off with the taqueria, the very simple surface level example. Let's jump into a slightly deeper example. All right. Sales. So you can watch all of the sales content in the world, but sooner or later, you will probably realize that the people that succeed the best in sales are simply the people that work the hardest. Yeah. You could have the best mouthpiece in the world. You could sound smooth as ever. You could be the biggest objection handler. But if your coworker that sits next to you is just putting in 10 times more reps than you, yeah, making 10 times more phone calls, going on more tours, just putting in the extra mile, then they're just going to surpass you just based on the math. They will surpass you, even if their close rate is lower, if they just book that many more appointments, etc. Right? So why am I going into this? So we've talked about, if you haven't heard my prior live streams, the summary is I'm working a sales job right now where I lease apartments and I get paid a flat commission every time I lease an apartment. And on my coworkers, I have a coworker that's been working there for 20 years. I have a coworker who's been working there for 12 years. I have a coworker who's been working there for 9 years. All right. And then a few other coworkers who haven't been there as long, maybe 5 years, maybe 1 year. Okay. And now these are my competition, right? We're all friendly and cordial and we help each other. But every time they lease an apartment, they're taking money out of the pot, right? That I could have leased that same apartment and got the commission off of, right? So it is competitive. It's a friendly but competitive environment. Yeah. And these coworkers that have been there for decades longer than me, I mean, that one coworker has been there for 20 years. She's been working there since I was 4 years old. Think about that. 4 years before kindergarten. She was there. I was in preschool. She was there. Okay. And I show up to this job and they had me training for the first 2 months, answering the phone, just taking, personal self tours around the property and shit. But finally, when my manager let me start leasing, on the very first month that I started leasing, I was second best as far as performance, as far as commission check, as far as apartments leased. Second best. Now, obviously, this is barely a brag because I want to be first. Who gives a fuck about second? But just putting this into perspective, my coworker was there for 20 years, 12 years, 9 years. And I was there for 1 month, right? I was leasing apartments for 1 month and I had already surpassed him. Yeah, I had surpassed them month one. Yeah, now I'm probably on track to do the same this month. We'll see. I don't count until the end of the month, anyways. All right, I just keep my head down and keep making sales. So why am I starting this story with that metric? So the reason I'm trying to paint myself as a fairly decent salesperson is because first I wanted to show you the result, right? Tell you about how I'm actually getting that result. And then I wanted to tell you what I'm doing to get that result. All right. So if you walk into this leasing office and you look at my behavior and the behavior of my coworkers, you'll notice a very stark difference. All right. Every time somebody walks into the door, even if I'm busy, right? I sit at the front because I want to be the first person that customers see when they walk in. I want to be the first person to be able to, accept a walk-in if they're not on the calendar. And I go, look, you want to walk in? I'll show you an apartment. Shit, I'll get the commission, right? So it's night and day energy. All right. Now my coworkers are phenomenal, to be fair, but there are gaps for sure. There are gaps in my work as well, but there are gaps. And their particular gaps would be customer service. Now their customer service is really good and it can be really good. But the difference is it's really, really good only towards their clients, only towards people that have already, or are trending towards buying the product, right? Leasing the apartment. Then all of a sudden the very soft, friendly smile and the higher voice kicks in, right? They're girls and they get all friendly and sweet with everybody, but only after it has been established that this guest is their client. And then I'll watch them interact with my clients, with my other coworkers' clients, and they're very short and they're very choppy with their communication, and they're nowhere near as helpful. Yeah. And I understand, right? It's a sales environment. So if anything, they're better off making my client not want to move in. Yeah. Because that means the apartment goes back on the market and then they have the opportunity to lease it. So if you think about it, like logically, they are better off trying to make my clients on my days off, for example, trying to get them to cancel than they are to try to help them and encourage them and make them feel welcomed. And I don't fully agree with that because I think if we were all on the same page, then it would just, we would lease everything because we'd all be helping each other so well and every client would feel so valued and our reviews would go through the roof and everybody would start referring everybody. I think that'd be a far better method, but that would mean everybody needs to get on the same page, right? So I understand their take. I've never called it out, but I totally get it. Yeah. It's like, if I spend time helping Ephraim's client and giving really top tier customer service, then that is less money in my pocket because I could have spent that same time making more phone calls, booking more appointments, this and that. In reality, they spend that time sometimes scrolling on their phone, but I digress. All right. Now you look at me, you look at my behavior. Now, I'm not going to say I'm Mr. Perfect. I'm not going to say that every single person I just give 10 out of 10 customer service experience to, but goddamn, when people walk into that leasing office, I am the first smile that they see. Sometimes I am one of the only smiles that they see. Yeah, even if this is not my client, right? Even if this is my coworker's client and my coworker is getting the commission, I welcome them. I am so helpful when I can be. Yeah. If my coworker needs help closing the deal, I'll close the deal for her. Yeah. Either way, it's more experience for me, even though I know it's not money in my pocket, right? But I am just all around team player, just A+ effort all around. Yeah. And I'll share a story which really solidifies this. Okay. I'll share that in a minute. But the reason I'm saying all this is because remember the result. Remember, second most apartments on month one compared to some people that were there for 20, 12, and 9 years. And first month, I mean, we should do the math on that, right? Multiply 12 by 20. How many months is that? They were on their 507th month or whatever. And I was on my first month, right? And I was already second place. This is why. All right. And I'm not going to pretend to know everything and everything about what people think and why they respond to this. But from what I have learned, this is the mentality that gets you second best in month one. This is the mentality. I wish it was first. I wish I was first in month one. I feel I should have been. That means I wasn't putting enough reps in, right? But this, to be fair, I took a week off in Vegas. Damn, I took a week off. I went to Vegas for a week, and I still ended up month one or second place. Think about that. All right. Anyways, maybe I could have been first. Shit. So think about this though. This is what gets me that result, is being an A+ team player just all across the board. Even when people come in to complain, sometimes I'm literally closing a deal. Someone is about to press pay now, and then somebody comes in with a complaint like, oh my God, this isn't working. Oh, my heater hasn't been working. I swear I put in a maintenance request. It's been 2 months. What the fuck? And they're making the property just sound so bad, right? This is their one individual isolated experience, but they come in with this certainty about it, and this, oh, you guys aren't doing shit, blah blah blah. And I'm like looking, I'm side-eyeing my clients like, are they hearing this shit right now? Oh no, they're not going to want to apply now. But even that person that walks in, I'm just able to give them the best experience, to the point where half the time it de-escalates itself, right? They came in thinking that I would meet fire with fire, but then I respond in a very calm way. Really? Wait, tell me more. How long has this been going on? That's unacceptable. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this. Like, that seriously should not be happening. Look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to text the maintenance guy right now. All right. I'm going to give a phone call to the resident services. I'm going to tell them that this is urgent. I'm going to put in a maintenance request myself. And if this isn't resolved by 4 p.m., I want you to walk back in this, right? So, and I imagine my clients hearing this and hearing how seriously I'm taking the issues of the residents, and that probably leads into why they want to apply also. Yeah. Versus my coworker, that same scenario happens and she's going, you need to go get next door. You need to go next door. We have clients in here. You're making a scene. You need to go. And then that just makes them fired up more and more. They go, exactly. I want your new clients to hear this. I want your residents to know how poorly you treat us, this and that. Yeah. Versus they're interacting with me and I'm going, I agree. That can't happen. You mean your hot water has been not working for the last 3 hours? I get it, man. You need to get to work. You need to shower. That's unacceptable. Yeah. Even in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, just take a fucking cold shower, you pussy. But I'm, to the person, I'm going, that is so, I totally get it. All right. I totally understand. All right, so let's get to a slightly more extreme example of what I'm saying. So my mentality is I do what it takes to get the sale. So in my industry, that means I show as many apartments as it takes for them to find the one that they like and sign the fucking lease so I get money. All right, that is my mentality. Until they move in, I do not get paid. So I'm going to show them apartments until they want to pay me. Yeah. And my coworkers are stuck on this idea of, we should only right now there's kind of like a loose rule, like a unwritten rule, that it's like we should only show 2 apartments per appointment, per 1 hour block appointment. Yeah. And I just completely have been ignoring that for the past few months, hence why I was second on month 1. But anyways, I've been ignoring the fuck out of that. And I've been going, I show people 2 apartments and then they don't like either of them. And I'm like, all right, so you want to see another one? Let's keep going until you find one you like. Like, it's like they show them 2 apartments and they don't like either of them. And then they go, oh, well, I showed you 2. Looks like we got to book an appointment for next week or for tomorrow. And you got to come back and let's do this again. It's so counterintuitive. It's like our job is to make the sale. It doesn't even make sense. Yeah. So why am I introing this? Well, yesterday it was pissing rain. I mean, the most rain I've been in like years. I'm not even kidding. Because for a few years I've been programming remotely. I haven't had to go outside during the rainy season, right? This is the most rain I've been in years. It was pissing rain out here in the Bay Area yesterday. And still plenty of my tours showed up for their appointment. And this one tour in particular showed up at about 11 a.m. or 12, I think 11 a.m. And it was absolutely pissing rain. He walks into the leasing office. He's got his coat over his head. He didn't have an umbrella. He's soaking. He takes his coat off. It's just fucking dripping water. And I'm going, you're my appointment? He's like, yeah. I'm like, nice to meet you. I'll meet you in the office. In my head, I'm like, fuck, I wish he didn't show up. Now I got to go in the rain, right? But it doesn't matter. Top tier customer service, even when I don't feel like it. All right. So I conduct this tour with this man. And we got on pretty well. He was my age and he was really cool. He was in school studying computer science. So we bonded over programming and shit. And it was a really fun tour, man. But, I'm saying he was my age because I wanted to intro into what I'm about to talk about, which is because it was raining. I was same mentality. I'm just going to show you as many apartments as it takes for you to give me money. Right. So I tell the guy, I'm like, yeah, I'm only supposed to show you 2, but like, I'll show you 2 and then we can go see more if you don't like those. And so I'm showing this guy apartments. But in between each apartment, because we're going, to different buildings and shit, I am literally jogging in the rain with this guy. All right. So I brought this umbrella and we forgot it in the car and we are like, we don't want to walk back to the fucking car. Let's just start running. And so I look at this guy and we're walking quickly and I could tell he's like he's keeping up with my pace. Sometimes I'm touring elderly people. I got to walk slow and shit. This guy he was in shape and he was my age. So I start walking quicker and then I look at the guy and I'm like, dude, do you want to just run? Like, do you want to just start running apartment to apartment? Like that way we can get more apartments in. That way we don't have to sit in this fucking rain all day. And I keep in mind, I got a button up on with my coat over it. I got I'm literal dress shoes on, dress shoes. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you want to just fucking run? He's like, yeah, I was hoping you said that, let's fucking run. So we just start jogging, but we're jogging apartment to apartment. Compare this to my fucking coworkers. Yeah. You want to know why I make sales? You want to know how I receive value? Compare this to my coworkers where they're barely interacting with people unless they're going to be the ones who are their clients giving them money. And when they do have their clients, they're trying to do the least work possible in order to get the sale, right? Oh, I showed you 2 already. Just pick one. Fuck. I don't want to show you 3. I want to go drink more coffee. Just scroll Instagram. Just pick one. And I'm going, oh, you didn't like those 2? All right, let's run to the next building. Yeah, let's run to the next building. All right, let's run to that building. And why is this story so golden? I had to show this guy like 7 different studios, and each one he liked, and some he likes better than others, and he thought he had found the one he really liked. And so at the last one, I'm like, all right, so it seems like you liked number 2 the best, right? We were at like number 7, and I'm like, all right, based on what you said, it seems like you like number 2 the best, yeah. So cool, we found the one you like. We can head back to the office. I'll get you started with the application. And then he goes, yeah, but like, do you have any 1 bedrooms? And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, what the fuck? Why did you just have me show you 7 studios if you're going to drop this on me? Fuck, of course we got 1 bedroom. Why are we at studios, right? But to him, I go, yeah, I got 1 bedroom. Do you want to see a 1 bedroom? Is that what you're saying? You want to see a 1 bedroom? He goes, yeah. Can I just see 1, dude? You're doing so much for me. Thank you. You've already done so much. Can I just see 1? And I'm like, yeah, let's see 1. And he was, he's kind of on the fence about applying for the studio. So I drive him over to the 1 bedroom. Yeah, we're running in the rain again. We run in the rain to the building. And I open the door, we walk in, and no more than 5 seconds later, he goes, yeah, this is it. This is the one. I'm ready to apply. This is the one. And we go back to the office. He applies, and hopefully he moves in so I get the commission. All right. But go figure, huh? Somebody is on the fence about applying, and I just go the extra mile, and that's what gets the sale. Yeah. I imagine part of what went into this guy wanting to apply on the spot, which, by the way, 99% of the people that I have move in apply on the spot right then and there. Instead of applying later at home, I'm just like, fuck it, you like it, here you go, let's apply, right? Closing tactics. But anyways, so I imagine part of what played into his desire to live there was the extra fucking mile that the leasing agent was going for him. I mean, goddamn, look at this from his perspective. Imagine he's touring around apartments all over the Bay, right? Wherever he's trying to live. And he's got leasing agents going, oh, sorry, I can only show you 2. He's got leasing agents showing up late or making him wait 15 minutes before his appointment, this and that. And I'm telling the guy, dude, it's raining. You want to start running? Let's just run so I can show you some more, right? From his perspective, I mean, god damn, I was going the extra fucking mile for this guy, yeah, to make him satisfied, to get him the apartment that he really wanted. And of course, right, the story writes itself. The one that he was certain about applying for, the one that he was like, yeah, this is it, take my money, was the last apartment number 8. I'm supposed to show 2, apartment number 8. Right. So if I showed my manager this live stream, I imagine she would understand why the fuck 2 apartments doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It's like, I'm getting you sales, man. You want me to show 2 apartments? It took 8 to get this sale. Why? That would have been 4 appointments. I would have had this guy go, all right, bro, sorry, you got to come back to tomorrow so we can have another appointment so I can show you 2 more. It would have took 8 or 4 appointments for us to find this guy's apartment. He probably would have just found another apartment somewhere else by that point, right? All right, so that was one example. The other example is I do goddamn everything for my clients. I do everything for my clients. I mean, to the point where I will hyperlink them, each and every link that I'm referring to. When I tell them, all right, here are the requirements. You need to get your renter's insurance. I'll go to the recommended renter's insurance link. I'll copy and paste the link. I'll hyperlink it and I'll go click here. I'll go, you need to set up your PG&E. I'll go to pgne.com/create account. I'll hyperlink that shit, put it right in the email, right? oh, we only accept cashier checks for the first payment, the move-in payment. I'll paste the move-in amount that they need to be, that they need to pay. I'll paste how to get a cashier's check. I'll paste the instructions. I'll remind them to go, on a weekday because banks are closed on Saturday, Sunday, so they can't move in if they don't got the cashier's check. Yeah. I will invite them and sit down with them to set up the renter's insurance and the PG&E. I just did this today twice. I do this goddamn every day. I have all of my clients come. I do this for my coworkers sometimes. My coworkers are sometimes doofuses struggling to figure it out. I'm like, dude, give me the fucking iPad. I got you. I'll help you. Yeah. I'm sitting down with the clients, inviting them in. My coworkers, yeah, their move-in will show up. Their client will show up on move-in day and not have the move-in requirements ready. And then their client or my coworker will get all mad at them and go, "I reminded you. I told you you had to have this done. This and that. I told you. Now we have to sit down and do this. Now this and that." And they'll get angry with the client. Whereas I just tell the client, "Look, this needs to be done by move-in day. So to ensure that it's done, just come here before move-in day, and I will do it for you. Just you put in your email and your password. You put in your fucking social security number and I'll do everything else. And then you put in your debit card to pay for the fucking insurance. But I will literally do everything else. I'll figure out the requirements. I'll call who I need to call. Yeah. I'll type in the website. Same with PG&E, right? I know all the buttons to click and shit. I'm like, let's get this done. Let's close this fucking sale. I will go the extra mile for this. Yeah. For this client, for every client. And no shit, second in 1 month. No shit, outperforming Miss 20 years, tenure, 12 years, tenure, 9 years, tenure. And I'm outperforming them month one. No shit. Yeah. Look at the difference in effort. Look at the difference in value given. Yeah. Are you beginning to connect the dots of the title of this live stream? You must give before you receive. Look at the absurd amounts of value I'm giving each client before they give me their dollars. Yeah. I'm running in the rain. This guy wasn't a guaranteed sale. I'm running building to building in the pouring rain with this guy going, you want to see 8? You want to see 9? Well, fuck it. Let's go see 9 in the rain. Yeah. No shit, he gave me his dollars. Half of it probably wasn't even the apartment. It was just the fact that somebody was willing to do this for him. Somebody was willing to climb down the ladder and get in the mud with him through this, right? Let's find the apartment together. Yeah. My coworkers are going, what do you want? Which apartment do you want? Did you find the apartment code online so it's easier for me to find? Oh, do you already know which one? And I'm going, look, let me tell you all about the community. Let's figure out exactly what you're looking for. Okay. Let's figure out, do you want to live in this style, which floor, right? Value given is value received. So this absurd amount of value that I was giving is why I received all of the commission to get me second best in month one. Yeah. Value given. All right. Next example, this YouTube channel. Huh? What a better fucking example. I have made zero. In fact, I have made negative thousands of dollars off of this YouTube channel in equipment, right? You think about the Ray-Ban lenses I bought, you think about the hard drives, the editing equipment, editing software, thumbnail software, the time that I could have been spending door dashing or doing Amazon Flex, I spent editing videos and recording videos. Yeah. You imagine all of I'm literally thousands in the hole because of this YouTube channel, paying my cousin to come out and film me, all the gas it takes to go out and get these infields done for you boys. Yeah, all the effort, all the dates. Yeah, all the money I'm spending on dates, or I was spending over the past few months on dates and shit. And I'm happy to do it. I'm psyched to do it. Yeah, I love doing that shit. I love investing into myself and into my channel and my company or my future. What would be my future company? I love doing that shit. But what am I trying to portray to you? I have not asked, and I will continue to not ask for a single dollar from you boys until I know that the value that I have given is worth an absurd amount of money. Yeah. I don't even want $5 a month for a school community. That's why it's free. Yeah. I don't even want $50 a month from each of you to join my community. That's why it's free. Yeah. I don't want these low ticket offers with low value given. I want to give you the most absurd amount of fucking value so that one day I get to the point where people are seeing my content and going, I need to work with this guy and I will pay him so much money to work with him. That is the goal. Yeah. So this is the example now, this channel, right? Give before you receive. I plan to give for years with no expectation of anything in return before I receive. Yeah. I plan to go thousands more, tens of thousands of dollars more in the hole in the name of this channel before I will ever expect and ever even ask for anything in return. Give before you receive. Yeah. You've got to give the value first. And cold approach is the next bullet point, and that'll be great. But You understand, yeah? It's like now you parallel this to another guy's channel who like, he's made a few solid videos, a couple of them have actually taken off a bit, and all of a sudden he's got a coaching Calendly link in his bio. Yeah. And no more than 2 months after giving value, and all of a sudden he's got the Calendly link and he's charging 50, $5.99 for a session or whatever, for a therapy session or a coaching session. And I'm just thinking, fair on him. He's probably making decent money. I mean, clearly he's making more than me. Even if he gets one client, he's made more than me. But that is not my metric. Yeah. That's not my success metric. That's not my impact metric, is how many dollars am I making in the short term? My metric is how many lives am I impacting, and to what degree am I impacting them? Because it is only to the degree that I'm impacting them that I will receive X dollars. Yeah. That I will receive the money that I am actually after in the long run. Yeah. First, I've got to change the lives. First, I've got to run in the rain to the apartments to find the apartments before the guy's going to click pay now and apply now. First, I've got to get you guys out of the fucking hellhole of scarcity. Yeah, I've got to do what I can to absolutely whip your dating lives around 180 before you will realize just how life-changing and just how valuable, hopefully, this information has been for you. Yeah, transformative. Then and only then will guys realize, holy shit, if I can get around this guy and pay him some money, I could probably speed this way the fuck up, right? Instead of going on one date every 6 months, one date every 2 months that you can muster up the courage to walk over, you're just going to learn how to be Ephraim 2.0. And I'm not even kidding. Yeah, I'm Christian 2.0 at this point. I'm not nearly as good at cold approach, but fuck, I just got good enough to get solid results. And it's like, the guy just gave me the blueprint. And now I can just get very similar results. Yeah, as far as like I can walk over, make a date happen, the girl likes me, you get a relationship. Like that's, that's pretty much all I was after. Yeah. The ability to do that consistently. And it's like, he recently, he goes, yeah, I got to a point where teaching this shit is really easy. And I can't say the same because I've never coached a single guy in my life, but I'm looking at that and I'm going, yeah, I imagine I'm gonna get to that point too. I'm gonna change so many lives. Eventually I'm gonna be in the field with the guy, right? Teaching the guy, pushing the guy into approaches. I'm gonna get so good at that it's gonna be like, not only can I do it, but I can teach a guy how to do it. Like, fuck, you know? But anyways, that ends the YouTube channel. And so the last bullet point that I put was cold approach. Yeah. So I titled this live stream, "You must give value before you receive." Before you receive. All right. And then one of the texts I sent myself was, part of it said, "It sucks because just because you give doesn't necessarily mean that you will receive." Yeah. So I just, it's kind of like a paradox. I just told you, you must give in order to receive. But then the very next thing I said was, but just because you're giving doesn't guarantee that you're going to receive. Sometimes you're just going to give, and you're just going to have given and gotten nothing back. And you're going to go, damn, I got slighted, right? Damn, I smiled at that guy. I smiled at that girl. She didn't even look at me, or she gave me a stone-faced look and kept walking. Damn. And you're going to feel a little slighted. But that's just how this goes. Sometimes you will give, a lot of times, most times you will give and not receive. Most times I give my clients top tier customer service, but they never end up leasing an apartment. Yeah. I never see them again. They go lease somewhere else where it was better. Yeah. That is most of the time. That's just everything. That's just fucking life. And hence cold approach. Yeah. So this is what I mean. You must give before you can ever expect to receive, and before you will receive. I had to walk over to so many girls before I ever got my first date out of cold approach, which is hilarious because the date that I got out of cold approach was only on day 2. Yeah. I did like 10 approaches day 1. And then I did like 12 to 15 day 2, maybe more like 20 on day 2. And it was towards the end of that session on day 2, right? I'd already gotten a few phone numbers, a few WhatsApps in day 1, and then earlier in day 2. But I mean, now count these, right? This to me now, this sounds like rookie numbers, but this was 33, 35 more girls than I'd ever approached in my life. So you imagine you add 10 plus, let's keep it conservative. Let's say 10 plus 15. So I had to walk up to 25 girls before I found my first ever date through cold approach. And that date didn't even happen that day. It happened a few days later. So in theory, I had already walked up to 60 to 70 before I ever went on my first date through cold approach, right? So I met the girl day 2, but we went on a date day 3 or 4. So I had walked up to 50 to 60 girls by that point before I had ever gone on my first ever date with cold approach, which means I had given 50 to 60 girls free value, right? Where I walked over and I go, "You look so beautiful that I had to stop whatever the fuck I was doing. You look so good that I had to fly fly from America to come and find you. That's how good you look. Yeah. And I'm giving these girls all these free value and shit, right? I don't like even using that word, but just to keep, the terminology the same as the title. I was giving without receiving a goddamn thing. Yeah. Maybe I got a few phone numbers and that really spiked my confidence for sure. But when I finally went on the date, you look back and you go, damn, it took a lot of approaches to get this date. And now imagine the thousands more I've put in since then. Yeah. And it's like, it makes sense that my channel looks like this. It makes sense that I got all these date breakdowns and live streams where I talk about dates and shit. Does it not? It makes so much sense. Think about how much value I've given out into the world. Think about how many girls I've walked over to and brightened their day because I stopped what I was doing, interrupted their day to tell them how gorgeous they were. Think about how many days I've made, right? How many girls' days I've made just by doing that, even though they weren't interested or they were married or they had a boyfriend or they were leaving town that night or they had a flight to catch or they blah, blah, or they just didn't like me. Think about how much, quote, value I had given or I continued to give without receiving anything in return, right? But that's what I mean is you have to give to receive the value, right? I need to walk over to the girl to get the date. I still have to give it, even though I don't always receive it back. I still have to go and I have to give it. I still have to initiate, right? It's all tying together. Yeah. I still have to be the one to go and initiate. I still need to be the one in the social setting, in the camping trip group. I wasn't the guy then, but I still need to be the one in these environments to initiate, to start, to give. Yeah. You must give first before you can receive. You must give to all of these women that you're going to walk over to and get rejected by. You must give yourself. You must give your ego away. Yeah. You must give before you're going to find the girl that's going to like you and that's going to fuck you. And it's as simple as that. Yeah. And no wonder why nowadays, because of all that I have given, right? Because of all of the compliments that I have given to all of these girls from in all of these different countries, yeah. Because of all of that, now I can receive. Yeah. Now I can give, and maybe it only takes 3 girls before I find the girl that I go on a date with. I've already got date breakdowns on my channel where I only did one approach. And I met that girl, went on a date with her that night, and then sent her off in an Uber later on. Yeah. Think about that. I've gotten to a point now, this doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. I mean, this doesn't happen more often than it does, right? There's only been a few times where this has happened, but it's happened, right? I've gotten to the point. Think about this 2 years ago. Think about how I started the fucking live stream. 2 years ago, I was going months at a time without getting laid. And now I'm at the point where I can walk over to it sometimes. And I've proven it to myself, where I can walk over to one girl in the day, get one date out of her, and have one amazing experience later that night. How fucking crazy is that, man? But it's because I've all of that I've given, right? It's because of all of the compliments, all of the good energy, all of the invitations that I've given. Yeah. That is why I can receive now. All right. Too many guys are wrapped up in trying to receive without giving shit. They just want to play Xbox, get high, get drunk, sit on their ass, and then have the 10 out of 10 girl walk over to them because they started looks maxing for 6 months. Now they want Mrs. Universe to walk over to them and start flirting with them on the park bench because they've looks maxed a little, and on their spare time when they're not looks maxing, they're just playing Xbox. Yeah. Guys think that all they got to do is have a cute haircut and go to the gym for 3 hours a day and then slack off for the rest of the day. Yeah. And not do shit else but scroll Instagram. And that's going to get them Miss Universe. Yeah. How delusional. All right. So yeah, that was the content of the live right there. I'll hop into the comments in a moment, but yeah, I thought that topic was good enough to, I guess, to talk 50 minutes about. Yeah. That concept of, it's kind of like Christian introduced me to this term a few months ago. He said karmic debt. So, good karma, bad karma. Who gives a fuck if the concept of karma is real? But the point is, you start to recognize that the more good you put into the world, the better your karmic debt, the more positive karmic debt you accrue. Meaning, the better you, how do I put this? The more good you do for the world, the more good the world does for you, or at least it starts to appear that way. Whereas you imagine the person that robs people, you imagine the person that spends their free time breaking into cars and stealing shit. The more that person takes from the world, the more that the world takes from that person, right? In this case, the extreme case, their freedom, right? They got them in prison now. And I can't, I can't claim that this concept is fact, but man, does it seem like it's fact, at least in my life so far. Yeah, it's like the more time I just fuck off and I go hang out with a girl and just fall into the love bubble and don't worry about the things that I need to take care of, the less definition I start to get in my muscles, the fewer sales I start to make on a daily basis. Yeah, the less content I begin to make, so therefore the less lives I touch. You see what I'm saying? The more that I take what I want. I take the sex. I take the girl. The more that I take, the more that the world ends up taking from me. Oh, I'm going to take money from you now, right? You're going to be making fewer sales. Oh, I'm going to take women away from you now, right? I was taking. I was pretty much just all over this girl. We were just together all the time, multiple times a week. Go figure, the universe takes the other girls away. Now this girl got into a relationship. This girl fucking her boyfriend, turned her longtime best friend into her boyfriend now. Oh, this girl ghosted me. Oh, I ghosted this. It's like all of a sudden the other girls that were in my life just started to fall away. Yeah. So versus when I'm giving, yeah, versus all of a sudden when I decided to cut that shit out and just start giving, right? Giving more content, giving more effort. All of a sudden, I'm making more sales. You see, I'm hopping on a live stream. I'm going, yeah, I made a sale today. Oh, I made 2 sales today. Oh, this and that. You see, I'm making more content. You see, I'm in the gym more. I'm already getting more definition back. Yeah, I had this very thin layer of fat on my belly from the last few months. And I run a mile every day for 5 days. And all of a sudden, that shit has vanished. Yeah. The more I give to the world, to my own body, the more effort I put in, the more I give to my clients, the more money they give me, the more compliments I go out and give, the more I find women that give me compliments back and want to come out on dates with me. You see what I'm saying? You're starting to get it? Somebody has to initiate. Somebody has to give first. That's kind of how we started the live, with me walking into the taqueria and he was giving bad energy, right? Not to no fault of his own. The guy was busy, but he was stressed. He was busting the table, rushing to the cash register. And I came in and I gave good energy, right? And what do you know? The burrito was delicious. Yeah, I made another sale after lunch after I ate the burrito. Yeah, what do you know? His day brightened up. You see what I'm saying? What do you know? I have a whole fucking topic to talk about for an hour. Yeah, it all really ties into the same stuff. You must give before you receive. Yeah. All right, let's see some of these comments. All right. So recovering simp, dude. As much as I make fun of your your name, I appreciate how consistent you're being in my lives, man. He showed up every day for the last few days and even left a comment. We got Mo in the chat. Good to see you, Mo. Cool checkpoint. I think I saw you yesterday. Starting to feel like a community now. Yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. So recovering simp says, I don't think I've ever seen someone be as happy about a breakfast burrito than you, Ephraim. Dude, really? Breakfast burritos are fire, man. What do you mean? I get happy over a lot of stuff, dude. Life, there's so much to be happy about, yeah? Glass half full. Recovering Simp says, too many variables involved in whether or not a girl will like you. Only approach can tell you that. Yeah, only the approach can tell you that. I agree, bro. Yeah, that's what I mean. Guys are saying, what percentage? Oh, if I go into 5 conversations, how many phone numbers will I get? How many times will I get laid? Bro, what do you mean, man? I'm not a fucking mind reader. I'm not a psychic. This is real. I'm not selling you a fucking dream, man. I am not a psychic. I cannot predict the future. I cannot tell you how many it's going to take for you to get laid or how many it's going to take for you to find your girlfriend. All I can tell you is, from my experience and from the guys in the entourage experience, if you go in, the more you go in, the more likely you are to find your girlfriend. Yeah. The more women you walk up to, the more likely you are to get a date. And goddamn, am I a shining example of that? Please feel free to browse through the content. Yeah. All right. Shale Patel says, no way this live. Yeah, this is live, bro. What you talking about? I think I'm live. Yeah, am I dreaming right now? No, it said you are live. We're live right now, baby. We're fucking live. Live and direct from San Francisco, California. Saturday, November 23rd, 9:32 p.m. Yeah, we're putting in work on a Saturday, baby. Did I tell you boys I ran a mile and I deadlifted today? Ooh, I was feeling good. Ran a mile, 7-minute mile. And then I had more in the tank, and I was like, well, fuck it. Let's put 2 plates on the bar, baby. Yeah, I'm pretty weak. All right, I'll be honest. But hey, not everybody can deadlift 225. Maybe most people can, but not everybody can. Some people are benching that shit, going, what are you talking about? Yeah, whatever. Whatever, Mr. Jim Max. Come approach with me. Let's see the results. All right. So Mo says, What do you think sets you apart in creating such amazing experiences with women? Is it your abundance mindset, confidence, non-clinginess, willingness to walk away, or a blend of all these qualities? You want to know oh, I love this. I love this question because I have the only answer that matters. You ready for it? You ready? I'm going to pause for dramatic effect. All right. The reason why I am, he asked, what do you think sets you apart in creating such amazing experiences with women? Practice. Shoulder shrug, huh? Practice. Yeah. Because I just told you 2 years ago, there were no amazing experiences, huh? 2 years ago, 6 years ago when I was 18, clinging to that girl that broke my heart. I mean, you guys would have been laughing at me. You would have, if we could put a video of me back then and how I acted back then, if we could have put a video of me on my channel now, you would probably unsubscribe. You'd probably go, wait a second, he used to be this guy, like what? I wish I had videos of me back then. Maybe some will resurface, but man, practice is the only answer. You asked, is it your abundance mindset? Is it your confidence, non-clinginess, willingness to walk away? That everything that you just described, I practiced intentionally for years on end. Yeah. I practiced the abundance mindset. How did I practice that? By walking over to hella girls. I practiced the confidence. How did I practice that? By doing hella stuff that scares the fuck out of me. Yeah, going to bars alone, walking over to girls, for example. Yeah, bringing my boy on double dates and going to set up double dates and walking over to two girls, even though he wasn't doing shit. That's how I built my confidence. Practice. Yeah. Non-clinginess, practice, seeing more women, having more experiences with more women, finding out that women can be clingy too if you play your cards right, and then going, okay, I don't even want a clingy girl now. I realize this is unhealthy anyways. Yeah, practice. Willingness to walk away, practice. I was not willing to walk away when I was 18. Yeah, I was praying this girl would come back to me. I was checking my phone all the time. Yeah, man, what a difference a few years can make. What a difference practice can make, huh? That's kind of like, I'm not trying to compare myself. I'm not calling myself the LeBron James of cold approach, but your question is kind of like asking LeBron, what do you think sets you apart from all the other players in the NBA? Huh? Is it your physicality? Is it your natural giftedness? Yeah. Is it the podcast you listen to? Is it your cold bath, ice bath therapy? And he's probably just going to go, yes, yes, man. It's just everything all of the work that he's put in. Yeah. All of the reps that he's put in. Yes. That's what it is. It's just fucking practice, man. You just go in for more approaches. That's all it is. Snow Combat says, I'm planning to go to the US in February. I'm in Paris right now. Which city would you recommend for cold approach? Any city with a decent population. Yeah. I mean, you give me any city that has over 100,000 people, and I can probably get laid in a week if I really, really, really applied myself. I mean, goddamn, I did it in Paphos, Cyprus. It took me to be fair, it took me 12 days, maybe more than a week. 30K population. I think, look it up. Population of Paphos, Cyprus, like 30,000 people, like 28,000 people. You give me a city that has 100,000 people, and you'll find a girl very quickly. If you apply yourself enough, you'll find a girl. So I don't recommend any city, dude. I recommend any city that has a lot of people. Because if there's 100,000 people in one city, you're telling me that there are no hot girls in that city. Yeah, guys are talking about what's the best city for cold approach. Oh, this city is bad. All the women are frosty here. Oh, this and that. I want to try to go there. Yeah, I want to go there and see what I can make happen. Because the same way 1 and 2 and 3 girls might be frosty, the fourth one might crack open and want to fuck me that night. Yeah, there goes frosty. Yeah, there goes, this city is so cold, so bad for cold approach. I mean, shit, I went to Paphos. The first 12 days, I was thinking, this city is so bad for cold approach. And then I got laid, and you should see that video. Go back to my date breakdown in Cyprus. The video before that day, I was, this is a grind, man. They all flaked on me. All the girls ghosted me. I had a date. I had a fucking boat tour. This girl invited me out on a fucking boat tour. I think she was even going to buy me the ticket. Yeah. The girl invited me out on a boat tour and then bailed that morning. Or I guess the night before. And the very next day I got laid. And then the next video I made, I was all smiles and I was like, Paphos is great. The best city ever. Wow. That's what I mean. There is no fucking, what's the best city? Where should I go? Go wherever is populated. And there you go. Maybe if you're into certain women, then figure out which women stay in certain cities or whatever. But Any fucking city, dude. Any city that has enough people in it, I guarantee you can make something happen if you walk over to enough girls in the right manner, huh? Cool Checkpoint says, how can I improve my English and communication by myself? I think that's contradictory. Don't improve your English and communication by yourself. Improve it with other people. The best way to improve your English is to speak English with people that speak English. I mean, literally, that's how my Spanish teacher taught us. She just spoke to us in Spanish only. Yeah, we got to Spanish 4 and she said, all right, no more English, just Spanish. And then we got hella good. Yeah, what do you know? That's my answer there. All right. Mo says, not everyone is Coach Ephraim, but I'm grateful to have found your channel through Christian. Forever grateful or forever thankful for your guidance and contributions to the Cold Approach community. Fuck yeah. More than happy to make these contributions. And then Recovering Simp says, don't kick yourself for what happened to you in your first relationship. We've all been guilty of the sin of simping. Dude, yeah, Recovering Simp, you don't say. No, I don't. I kick myself in. The reason I can kick myself nowadays is because, I mean, just look at my dating life now. You know, it's like I really don't have shit to prove to anybody at this point. So that's just me being vulnerable and just being really objectively honest. Yeah. I can look back and go, no, I was a bitch. Yeah, I was a bitch. I'm not kicking myself. I was a bitch. It's as simple as that. I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah. It's not to say I was a bad person. It's not to say I was worthless and I should have died. But it is to say that I can look at my prior self and understand why he did not get girls. I can very clearly understand it. And that's why I can read comments and I can look at other guys and their content and their comments and their posts and I can go, no, it makes sense why he's struggling right now. Yeah. No, it makes sense why just the question, the content of the question that he asked, it makes sense why the guy's not getting laid. Yeah. He's asking me how many girls do I need to walk up to? He's approaching life with this path of least resistance mentality. It makes sense why he's not getting girls because that's not attractive to girls. He's still worried about looks maxing and fucking putting his hair follicle in the right place. And he's missing the whole point. The girl wants you to run after the goal. Yeah. There's a reason the girl likes the football players and the basketball players in high school and not the guys who are just chilling and not doing shit after school, right? Because we were at least working towards something. There was at least some camaraderie, right? Back then, that was the biggest level of glory you could really achieve. It's just being the sickest athlete. So it was like, no shit, they liked us back then. Yeah, no shit. We got girls, or at least I got interest from girls, but could not convert that interest because I had no idea what I was doing. But fuck, I mean, no shit, they were interested. Yeah. Same thing now. It's like guys are trying to take the path of least resistance. No shit, the girl doesn't like you. It's because she sees guys like me walking over to her, right? Actually just going after what we want. That's what makes her wet, not your fucking hair swoop, my guy. All right, boys, I'm about done with this live. Had a good time. Put about an hour in on a Saturday night, feeling good. Got to get some job applications in. So I'm going to do that very shortly. Appreciate you boys for joining. You need to go in for your approaches. Funny enough, I haven't done an approach in days, since I think I made that infield on Monday. And yeah, really for me, it's just been opportunity. Like I said, I drive to work. I'm barely fucking make it to work on time. And then by the time I get off, it's pitch black. So I'm going to put in hella reps though on tomorrow is my Friday. So Monday I'll have off. So I'm going to be pounding the pavement Monday. Try to get another video for you boys on Monday. Yeah, it's funny because it's like, I would love to get laid, but getting laid is not really a priority for me right now. I'm kind of really enjoying like the testosterone buildup day over day. It's funny. I haven't felt this in a while. I remember back when I was going months at a time without getting laid. The one thing I did like about that was just the fucking drive you get from having excess testosterone in you versus where I've been for the past few months where I'm just blowing my load every few days. Yeah, I was at a testosterone deficit. No wonder I wasn't getting shit done. No wonder I wasn't making sales. No wonder I wasn't going to the gym. No wonder I was barely walking over to girls. Yeah. No wonder. But anyways, boys, appreciate you as always. Hope you enjoyed going for your approaches. No excuses not to. Life is too short. You need to be going